School holiday hell. Here we all are again. And I shouldn't say that because our children are blessings and we are so lucky and so fortunate to get to spend extra time with them during the school holidays. But for working mums, for people who are trying to run a business and be a fabulous mum and, make all the play dates and all the activities and get the kids to the zoo, which I don't know about you, but that's like the number one request I get on a weekly basis. When are we going to the zoo? When are we going to the zoo? And I can usually put it off to in the school holidays, but here we are in the school holidays. And I think it's going to be time for the zoo. But today I wanted to talk about school holiday hell, to reframe it a little bit for you, and also to give you some tips that work for me in terms of how I get work done whilst the school holidays are on. Firstly, I want to say we don't have that many school holidays with the kids. And so I have to remind myself of that, especially when things are really hard, because school holidays are hard. We look forward to them. I'm not going to have to make school lunches. It's going to be so exciting. We can sleep in a little bit. We don't have to rush in the morning. Things are going to be great. And then it comes and you're like, oh gosh, it's a whole different hard. And so to remind yourself that, yes, it is hard, but it isn't forever. It's just for now. But also to know that we only get a certain amount of school holidays with the kids before they're all grown up. And Lucinda's just had a growth spurt and she's just like, it's looking so grown up and she's so tall and just, it's freaking me out a little bit. And I kind of look at her and I think, yeah, in those early days, I was like, school holidays, I'm going to schedule the living daylights out of you kids so I can get some work done. But now I'm less likely to do that because I know that these, especially the summer breaks, the big summer school holidays, there's only a certain amount of those that we get before they're not going to want to hang out with us anymore. And so I encourage you to sit, in that brutal yet beautiful place of knowing that this time is precious that we get with our young people, whilst also trying to feed the ambition that we have within ourselves and the responsibilities that we have for our business. Trying to balance all of that. Please know that in this brutal juggle, you are not alone. So in saying that, what are some of the things that work for me during school holidays? And, some days I feel like I'm killing it and other days I just am like, oh no, this is hell. So you are not alone if you are feeling the same thing. I guess my biggest tip is to schedule things for the kids when you know that they can all do something at the same time. Because if you want to get some work done and you want to get stuck into getting something done and getting, some hours of work that you can pump some stuff out. Perhaps you've got meetings that you need to book. Perhaps you actually need some deep work time. You need to sit at your desk and answer some emails and really get through some stuff. Schedule things where you can clump the kids in together. So my kids don't all like to do the same things, and Henry's still at daycare. So I will try and find activities for the days that I know Henry's already at daycare. I'll try and find different activities for the kids to do on those days, so that we have some days during the holidays where we have no plans at all, where we are just flying by the seat of our pants. Let's go, to the park, then let's go get some fish and chips and go sit by the water and just let be, like whatever's going to be. And then we have other days where we have things on. And those days are the days that Henry is kind of already occupied. So that really helps me in terms of knowing that I've got 2 or 3 days already scheduled out at the beginning of the school holidays where I can give myself some grace and go, okay, today's Monday and I know I'm not going to get anything done today because we're all together. But I know that on Thursday, they're all going to the zoo and to art class and to daycare, and that's going to be my time where I'm going to be able to get stuck in. And I communicate that as well. I think the communication part of it is really important. So being able to say to your customers or your team, the people around you, the key stakeholders in your business, it's school holidays, it's a difficult time. I'm not going to be on my email every day, but I will be checking it on Thursday. So if you have anything urgent and you need to call me, by all means do that. But if you're waiting for a reply to an email, it's not going to come till Thursday. That communication part is really, really important. So make sure you don't forget that part once you've sorted out your week. Then what is also part of my thinking and my kind of factoring in is, okay, this is a really great opportunity to spend some one-on-one time with the kids. So in addition to my big chunks of time where I'm going to get work done, I'm thinking about how can I create an opportunity, and it can just be an hour or, sometimes it's just 20 minutes, but how can I create an opportunity for me to be able to spend some one-on-one time with each of the kids? And that's really hard. And, we're trying our best to be able to do that, not just in school holidays, but in regular life as well. For Heath to have some time with Lucinda is important. For Heath to have some time with Patrick is important. For me to have some time with Patrick is important. Like, how do we juggle all of that in our day-to-day lives? But in school holidays, you have the opportunity to really be conscious about how you're going to spend that time. So I like to have a think about, the pick up and drop off times. Often on days where they're going to things, the things will start at different times. So I will be able to, perhaps drop one child off at 9 o'clock and know that the next child doesn't need to be dropped off at 10, but that hour we go do something special together. And that kind of ticks that box for me. And then perhaps the child who went earlier finishes earlier. And so I've got an hour then between pick up for the second child to be able to go and do something special with them as well. And it can be just, we go to the park together, or we go for a walk together, or we get an ice cream together, or we go to Kmart together. Gosh, that's trouble, but that's usually the request. If, what would you like to do these school holidays? Go to Kmart. So, thinking about what is important to them and what is something that's going to create an opportunity to spend with them is really important as well. So it's about those big chunks of time and being able to use those big chunks of time well. I'm also, really into dividing up the time that Heath and I have. So I'll use like a Sunday, for example, and during the school holidays when I know I'm getting less work done, but Heath's still going to work like every day and just living his life as a normal human. I will say to him, okay, this Sunday, I know it would be great for us to all spend the whole day together, family day, but what I'm going to need is 3 hours in the afternoon, or what I'm going to need is 3 hours first thing in the morning, or, this is what I need in order to be able to catch up on all of the stuff that I haven't got done during the week and tie up those loose ends in so that I can then move forward and also hopefully speak. And that doesn't happen if you don't communicate that. What I used to just do was just hope that he read my mind, that, I'd had a rough week and it was school holidays, and I'd get to the Sunday and I'd kind of be storming around when he suggested that we all go to the park together, or we all go to the zoo together. And I'd be like huffing around. But what I've learned is that needs communicating. And so I'll give him plenty of warning. This day's been hard because we've been doing this and this and this. On Sunday, I'm going to need X, Y, Z. And I really encourage you to get clear with that communication as well, because our partners are not mind readers. We're not mind readers either. And so that communication part is really, really great, especially if you can do it ahead of time. So like, school holidays are coming up. Here's my plans for the kids, this and this and this and this and this. And I know I'm going to need, this hour. When you get home on this day that I've been with the kids all day, I'm going to need an hour where nobody talks to me. So this is what I'm going to need. And hopefully your partner will be able to reciprocate that and make that happen. And, school holidays, they come up every 10 weeks. So we know that they're coming and we know what works and what doesn't work. Don't play the game of being on the hamster wheel and making the same mistakes and getting into the same emotional, crazy space that you got into last school holidays. You know that it's coming up. You know what works and what doesn't work for you and for your family. So by all means, try new things, but also know that if you have a really full-on day, you're going to need some downtime. Know that if the kids have a really full-on day, they're going to need some downtime as well. Know that if they have a movie night every single night, then, when school starts back, they're going to want to watch a movie every night as well. So have some boundaries, have, some rules, and set those rules up and communicate those rules with the kids before the school holidays start, so that it's not like a fight every night at 6 o'clock when you say, no, we're not watching Incredibles 2 again. Is that just me? So I think that communication part is really important, planning and communication. And then, of course, just cutting yourself some slack, knowing that some days you're going to get it right, some days you're not going to get it right, and that's okay. That some days the kids are going to eat, from the 5 food groups, and other days they're just going to eat sugar. Know that some days you're going to have everything planned and things are still not going to go to plan. And then other days are going to be absolutely, beautiful and just all organically come together. But enjoy this time whilst it still is there, whilst you still have, small humans that want to spend time with you and look forward to spending time with you, and find unique ways to create memories for them that they can then tell stories about when they're older. I know that the memories that I have from school holidays and from those moments are things that I think back on really fondly. So I do my best to try and create moments like that for the kids that they will also look back on. And then other times I'm like, here's the television. Sit. Just give mummy an hour. And that's okay as well. I'd love to know what you're up to these school holidays. Please reach out to me. Take a screenshot if you're listening to this on your phone and stick it on your Insta story and tag me at Simply Stacey Morgan. Let me know what you're up to these school holidays. If you're going to the zoo, let me know. Because that's on our list as well. And enjoy this school holiday time. Do take some time for yourself. Do ask for what you need. And I will talk to you next week.